Thank you for tuning to Flamingo Fight Talk. I am your host today, Kelby Cedarquist, and with me today is Derek Schramm. Great bantamweight fight. Song Yadong against Davidson Figueiredo. Off the bat, every time I see Davidson Figueiredo's, I keep saying a lot, but Davidson Figueiredo's name pop up in a fight, there are
Yeah.
so much mixed emotions with this fight. I think it's just because he fought the same dude 4 times, and it got ridiculous.
Yeah, his just absolute war with Brandon Royval.
Yeah,
And he's such an important guy in the
he
flyweight
is.
division. Obviously, he got the championship from Joseph Benavidez, who was the perennial number 2 guy while DJ was there and outside of Cejudo, of course, who
Yeah,
went through like a wrecking ball.
yeah.
And he played such a role in like getting it to that next stage, both with like the Benavidez dominance, but then when he went and fought he defended against Alex Perez, who was also on this card actually. But then his wars with Brandon Moreno, and then Moreno ended up losing to Pantoja, of course, and
Yeah.
we're here where we're at now. So of course it's kind of the story goes on, but it's always good to kind of return to a champion who's now up a weight division.
Yeah, which he's not the biggest guy, but moving up a weight division later in life, obviously at older you get, is never a
He was
bad thing.
he was a bit of a weight bully at he was a bit of a weight bully at flyweight. Definitely not
Yeah,
the
at
biggest
flyweight,
guy
yes,
in bantamweight, and Song Yadong, he's fought coming off Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley's much bigger than Davison Figueiredo.
correct. Oh yeah, Sean O'Malley's significantly bigger than Davison Figueiredo, but
Yeah.
this this is gonna be a really fun fight. You should definitely expect elite volume, high pace, a lot of striking in this fight. It's going to be very consistent fight. Song has a massive youth and speed advantage against him, but for me,
Yeah.
Figueiredo's definitely a true veteran in the game. But Song's
I
technical,
was listening to an interview. Song Yadong thinks the majority of the fight's going to be on the feet.
yes,
And I definitely think at this point, if it's on the feed, Song being the more, like you said, the more athletic, younger fighter, I believe he's 28.
yeah,
And Davison starting to get up there. I forget what age he is, but yeah, it's kind of one of those things. If it is on the feed, you gotta favor the younger guy in that, don't you
yes,
think?
yes, definitely
Yeah,
favor a
Davison
younger
through.
guy. Well, yep. Song Yudong's coming in at a 140 favorite, so ever so slight favorite with Figueredo coming in at a plus 115 underdog. I agree with that. I really do lean slightly, ever so slightly towards Song Yudong. I
Mm-hmm.
think he's getting to the point. Well, Figueredo used to be extremely fast. He still is extremely fast, but it's not
Yeah,
quite what we
he's
saw
definitely a
4 or 5 years
faster
ago. Oh yeah, no, it's yeah, it's no, it's, there's no doubt about his speed, but I just think Song Yudong would be able to maintain that pace and be able to kind of outstrike him throughout the fight. Surprisingly, yeah,
What's interesting is both these guys are pretty middle of the pack
yeah,
in that way in their bantamweight careers. So at bantamweight, Davidson has wins over Rob Font, Cody Garbrandt, Marlon Vera, and Montel Jackson, and losses to Piotr Jan, Corey Sandhagen, and Umar Nurmagomedov. So, he's cleared that bottom tier. Marlon Vera is definitely good at that point. Meanwhile, but he struggled against the top, and now Song Yudong has fought his entire career at bantamweight. I'm pretty sure, so I'm not going to go back to all of it. But his more recent run wins over Marlon Vera, Casey Kinney, Julio Arce, Marlon Marias, Ricky Simone, Chris Gutierrez, Henry Cejudo, but losses over Sean O'Malley, Piotr Jan, Corey Sandhagen. So again, one of those
some
guys that
incredible
kind of
losses.
struggled at the top of the.
Yeah,
Yeah, like again, both guys credible losses,
yes,
but beats the other guys, and this is where it's kind of one of those things. If they're both middle of the pack guys, again, I think I gotta favor the younger fighter. But Song Yadong, especially in that Sean O'Malley fight, he showed how tough he was, but there was just such defensive last in his game, and he wasn't able to out footwork Sean O'Malley. And yeah, that's a tough task, to be fair. Not anyone can do that in this division, especially. But because of that struggle, it's kind of like you look at Davison and, he doesn't have the footwork of O'Malley, probably not the same power, but he does have power. He does have speed. But it's one of those things. If Davison shows up old in this fight and his speed is failing him, I think it's Sean's fight to win, especially at in a 5-round fight.
Yeah, it's definitely his fight to win. I have this fight going to decision. Song Yadong
Yeah, I
winning by
think I
decision.
think Song gets it done late.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely. I very very unlikely that is going to be a extremely early finish in this fight by either one of them.
I will say, if Song Yadong does beat him, this would be the first champion that he's won against. I know he did win against Henry Cejudo, but if I remember right, there was something weird with an eye poke in that fight. I can't remember, but outside of so if he, technically, okay, he has to win over Cejudo. So I can't remember if there's an asterisk on that or not.
Yeah,
But again, so if he does beat Davison, that would be his second champion
yeah,
he's beaten. So
yeah.
step up for Song, and again for Davison, if you beat Song Yadong, you're kind of get right back involved in the top of that division. Obviously, he's coming off against the loss to Usman Nurmagomedov, but
Yeah. One key thing is, even though they're both veterans in their own way, Song Yudong was at one point the youngest fighter to ever debut in the UFC at the age of 19. He made his
is
UFC
that
debut.
true? Wow.
Yeah.
At
So,
one point, yeah, because Rosas came in later, but
yeah. Yeah, the key word is
oh, that's
was.
cool. Yeah, I remember when he was young.
Yeah,
That was cool
19.
watching him fight. So
Yeah. So he's been around the block in the UFC. He's not, even though he is younger than Davis Figueiredo, he definitely has a very extensive, long UFC career, which definitely needs to be taken into consideration, especially if you're going to make a bet in this fight. Keep that in the back of your head.
absolutely. All right, you ready to get into our co-main?
Yeah, should take it away.
We got Atomic Alonzo Minfield. I'm pretty sure he's number 15. Is he not? He is number
Yeah.
15 in the light heavyweight division, going against Mountain Tiger Ming Yang Zhang. This is a good fight. So Alonzo Minfield, I believe 17 fights in the UFC now. Mountain Tiger only has 4. Those wins for Mountain Tiger, all first round performance of the night knockouts against Brenton Ribeiro, Ozzy Diaz, Anthony Smith. However, he is coming off of a knockout loss to none other than Johnny Walker. So, and now, hey, Johnny Walker, I don't know if you caught this news yet. He is moving up to the heavyweight division. So that's going to be fun. We'll talk about that another time. Him and
Yeah,
Alexander
that's
Rakic both leaving light heavyweight.
mhm.
But yeah, just lost Johnny Walker last time out, and meanwhile Alonzo Minfield, he's always up and down, up and down. He did have that good 4-fight win streak until he came up against Carlos Ulberg, the now champ, and he's bounced back up and down, but he's currently coming off of a first round knockout to Volkan Ozdemir. So again, these are guys where, they are tough in their division, but every time they get a couple steps up, in Jang, was his first time, couple steps, first time getting knocked down. Alonzo's been knocked down a couple times now, but fighting for the number 15 rank in the light heavyweight division. What do you think about this fight?
Man, this is a classic clash of raw physical power against precise striking and mechanics. Manfield will.
These dudes are jacked. Look at their pictures if you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen like a recent pictures of him. I mean, Manfield was looked at. I mean, he's will look to close the distance and land a lot of huge overhand rights is what's his thing. But his gas tank
Uh-huh.
often is what makes him not quite be able to do it in a lot of fights.
Yeah.
Other guys should
He
use
struggled.
a measured approach to
Yeah.
pick him apart and let him wear that gas tank out, and that's how he should be able to win the fight.
Yeah. Ming Yang, I think, he's hasn't, yeah, 27 years old, so he is, I'm pretty sure, the younger fighter here.
Yeah,
Alonzo, how old is he now? 38. Yeah, and that's the thing. Alonzo Minfield, he's only just now kind of really getting up into the rankings, so you kind of forget that he's been around for a while. But Ming Yang is, pretty new to the UFC still, like I said, only 4 fights in, but I think he kind of has what it takes, and he's going to be in China, so I think he's going to have the hometown advantage here, obviously, and he's the co-main event. I think they're definitely trying to put a spotlight on what should be a fun action fight, like you were saying.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun action fight. Ming Yang, he got that 42-second knockout in the Contender Series, is what was able to get him into the UFC. And a fun fact about the other gentleman, he used to play college football. He didn't make his MM, he didn't do his MMA career until he turned 27.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, so he didn't start MMA. Meanwhile,
Yeah, it's crazy,
he,
crazy.
this guy has 4 fights in the UFC.
Yeah, I've been trying to look up fun
20
facts.
fights.
Yeah, I've been trying to look up fun facts on every fighter for this card, and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, no, that's a fun one, actually. I like that.
yeah.
That's cool. There was something else I want to say. Oh, yeah. If you're looking to bet on this fight, I think your safest pick is that this fight does not go the distance. I think we are going to be getting a finish for sure in this fight.
I wrote down Ming Yang knockout in the second round or third round.
Oh, I'm picking Ming Yang to win.
What?
I think if we weren't clear, we were both picking Song Yadong to win too by decision, right?
Correct.
All right, we're okay.
How,
But yeah, so Ming Yang, I think for sure. Sorry, what?
I can't believe we're like legit. We need to stop thinking alike.
Well, I don't know if Alonzo Minfield or Ming Yang's going to win for sure, but I think
Yeah.
either one is going to win by knockout, probably through ground and pound.
Oh yeah, 100%. If it goes to the ground, man, it's game over.
Ugh. Let's get into our heavyweights. We have Taliesin Teixeira. Hold on, sorry, 1 second. Can you introduce this one? My computer's glitching.
Sergey Pavakovich. I can never say his name right. Talos and Teixeira, both legends in the game by their own means. Never was champions, but they've been around the block. Well, I shouldn't say legends, but they've both been around the block a while. But
I mean, Pavlovich has been around the block. Taliesin Teixeira has only 3 fights in the UFC. Wins against Justin Tafa and Tai Tuivasa and a loss to Derek Lewis. I don't think Taliesin, he's a big athletic guy and he's a fun prospect for this division. A legend.
now, if you
That's
get now anybody that gets a chance to fight Derek Lewis is a legend in my books. If you get to fight a legend,
I'm
you're a
not
legend.
sure about that, but I will say Taliesin Teixeira, ranked
Yeah.
15 at heavyweight, hasn't fought anyone in this division. Derek Lewis at this point is washed, even though he did, you know, Derek Lewis hasn't been relevant in years.
Yes,
He's
he has.
washed.
He's
I'm
always
sorry.
relevant.
But he is the knockout king of heavyweight, and that's what he did to Taliesin Teixeira. And Teixeira, he beat Tai Tuivasa last time out. Tuivasa sucks. He should be cut. We talked about this before.
Yeah.
Pavlovich, on the other hand, the number 3 in the division. His only losses at heavyweight are to Alistair Overeem back in 2018, Tom Aspinall in 2023, and Alexander Volkov in 2024. He has beaten everyone else, including my boy, Waldo Acosta Cortez, Salsa Boy last time out. I was so excited. He was on the run. I'm like, oh no, Pavlovich, that's a tough fight for him.
Yeah.
Remember? We were talking
Yeah, I
about
remember
that.
this.
And yeah,
Yeah.
Waldo has his athleticism and a jab.
Hmm.
And he lost to Pavlovich. But remember, Salsa Boy got 3 more wins and then fought Alexander Volkov, and he still had the same issue. So Pavlovich, it's been a while since he's fought.
Yeah, no,
Not really. It was 25. But it's almost been a year, and that's weird for a guy at the top of the division or not really. Go ahead.
I mean, Pavlovich is definitely considered one of the hardest hitters in the heavyweight division. For me, the style to
Mm-hmm.
win in this fight is definitely being straightforward, technical pocket boxing. If Pavlovich can close the distance and land a lot of his signature hooks early that he's very much known for, you'll see in a lot of these fights if you go back and watch him, very, very hooky kind of guy. Sounds weird saying that, but he is. It will be definitely a short night for Teixeira, but Teixeira must utilize his reach and attempts to drag this into later rounds to be able to expose Pavlovich's cardio, which has been shown in previous fights before. But Teixeira, to me, has a little bit of cardio problems too. So I hope he's prepared himself a little bit to be able to sustain early on and then get the at late round finish, or because I don't really see him win by decision for some odd reason. He's going to have to get that late round finish in this fight.
So really quick, Pavlovich, the people that we beaten him, like we said, Volkov, Overeem's gone out, and Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall's current champ. Volkov's number two. The only person to beat Volkov recently is Cyril Gahn, who's number one. Gahn and Pereira obviously fighting for the interim while the champion stays out with his eye injuries.
Yeah.
Look at this, man. Pavlovich, number three, fighting number 15. That's,
What
what do
is
you
the
think about matchmaking on that? It seems like they're really trying to shake up the top of the division.
Yeah.
And like we said, Johnny Walker's coming in, Gable Stevenson's coming in, Josh Hokick, Derek Lewis is a big house on the White House card, or a big fight on the White House card. Alexander Rakic coming in, now trying to break one of the top five perennial top contenders in Sergey Pavlovich now. The former champion Alex Pereira coming into the division. It looks like heavyweight is getting a revival shot right now.
We've been saying this multiple times in the past
I've
months.
been killing it since we've been doing the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
Heavyweight sucks, scrap the division. It looks like they're finally doing something.
Yeah, yeah. When you're putting up a 15 against a 3, you're definitely wanting to push a lot of these newer guys that haven't been in the league as much, even though I consider both of these guys legends, but they haven't been in the league that long. But I'll give you this.
Pavlovich has, but
This is what I think about this fight. Pavlovich minus 275. Teixeira plus 220. I got Pavlovich winning knockout first round. I haven't done a knockout first round prediction in a while. I don't think I've done it yet since we've started this podcast, but I'm feeling really confident in a knockout first round. I would put money on the knockout on Pavlovich, but for me personally, I'm feeling spicy on the first round.
I definitely think Pavlovich winning is the likely situation, just because we haven't really seen. I don't think I've seen what Towson can do yet. Not really. Not against Tafa and Tai Tuivasa. No, that doesn't mean anything to me. Pavlovich is I respect Pavlovich. He is a top guy. And, it's one of those things where it's like, I think it'd be great for the division if he can beat Pavlovich, because Pavlovich will just bounce right back in there if in the top 10,
Yeah,
for sure. And then it gets Towson up there, and then it's just fresh matchmaking all over the place. And that's
yeah,
what's fun, and like you actually get the turnover. But if Pavlovich, shuts down Teixeira, he just remains right behind Volkov because he has the head-to-head loss. And Volkov has to wait behind Gon until Gon can lose. And the only people that beat Cyril Gon are the champions. So, but the champions can't defend because they either retire or get injured. So, and that's where, hey, maybe Pereira can come in and knock them all out. But did you see the sparring footage of sorry, not Cyril Gahn, Towson Teixeira and Alex Pereira?
no. What?
So they have been sparring with each other as Alex has been feeling out the heavyweight division ahead of his fight on the White House. So he's been sparring with Towson Teixeira and our guy Robles de Spain from the MVP card the other weekend. And basically, while damn, Alex is big. These are both big, rangy guys, and they are definitely touching up Alex Pereira a little bit. Something to maybe talk about when we break down the White House card some more. But at the same time, that does mean Towson Teixeira is training with Alex Pereira ahead of this fight with Pavlovich right now, and that I think that can only be a boon to his chances.
Oh, 100%. I could I didn't realize that those two were practicing with each other. That makes it
The
interesting.
story's been about Alex Pereira and like how he looks at heavyweight, but it's also like, well, that means they're training with him too,
Yeah.
and Towson has a fight against a good striker.
Yeah, that's no, that makes sense. Towson has a fight against a good striker, and my biggest worry is the cardio in this fight. And if he's training with him, definitely going to be improving your cardio against somebody at that high of elite striking level from kickboxing world. It can only benefit in every single way of the categories that I was having cons in for this fight. That might have to go back on my no, I'm still going KO round one.
All right, let's, okay, you know what? Some disagreement. I'm going Towson Texera KO in round two. Anyways, let's get
Totally
to
disagree.
our next fight. I don't know why this fight's on the main card.
Yeah.
And, when you were saying, like, I can go into detail about the top four, I don't want to talk about Alex Perez. I don't want to do my research for the bottom of the main card. I just want to talk about the top four. And I looked at it, I'm like, okay, the main, the co-main, the feature bout, those make sense.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, why do you want to talk about Kai Asakura yet to get a win in the UFC? And Cameron Smotherman only one win in the UFC against Jake Hadley, or sorry, only one win in the UFC against Jake Hadley, who I just talked mad crap about in my PFL video
Yeah.
that I released earlier today.
Yeah.
So, why did you want to talk about this card? Because I don't have much to say about it.
Well, gosh dang it. I did do some more research on it because I was thinking about that, and my
Like,
phone
this
is
guy
not
didn't even
staying up.
win his Dana White Contender Series fight.
What was the fun fact I wrote about this? I couldn't find crap. Yeah, that's right. The thing I wrote is we're talking about the Kai and Cameron fight, right? Making sure I'm on the same page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kai is a former risen bantamweight champion who
Yeah.
transitioned to the UFC, like you're saying. Cameron,
He did beat Juan Archuleta, who's actually really good.
yeah, and Cameron Smotherman notably stepped up on a short notice to compete in a high-profile flyweight bout, and for some reason I didn't write the names of that bout. I don't know why.
His debut was a title fight against Pantoja, so like he
That's
is
it.
far better than Cameron
That's
Smotherman.
right.
Like,
That's right. Yeah, the betting odds on this fight, Kai coming in at Kai coming in at 300 favorite and Cameron Smotherman coming at a plus 240 underdog. That's a pretty significant underdog, especially in matchmaking for a main event or not main event, a main card bout.
yeah.
Yeah, what else did I write? What? Where am I? I did give a knockout a prediction. There's going to be a knockout in round two with Kai winning by knockout in round two.
Yeah, I think Kai Asakura is going
Yeah,
to whoop ass. Like,
yeah.
for sure.
Smotherman is definitely a tough, durable fighter, but he struggles with fighters who can match his pace and heavily outstrike him. And especially at kicking range, he has not been good against people that can kick well. Hazuka should dismantle Smotherman from distance while avoiding the grappling exchanges. If he can avoid that, it's a game over.
Yeah, I think you're pretty fair with that. I don't think Smotherman has much for Kai Asakura. If he can beat Kai Asakura, that would be, I think, honestly, rather impressive from Smotherman. I'd have to kind of rethink his entire,
Yeah,
you know, damn, I'm blanking. I'd have to rethink his prospects. I mean, of course, Kai Asakura is yet to win a fight in the UFC either, so we have to, judge that against each other. Anything else you got to say on that fight?
no, not too much. That's a hard one to really think about, just
Yeah,
because
I
it's
think it should be a fun action fight,
yeah,
though.
it's gonna be a fun action
Flyweights
fight.
are.
This whole card, there's going to be a lot of finishes, is my prediction, and that's going to be one that's for sure a finish.
I think it's a. I mean, it's a on the road card, and it's funny because we used to think of like the China cards when they're on the road as like these aren't as good. They're kind of lower level names, and for sure that is the case here and there. But when the UFC's been on the road lately, they've been some pretty damn good fights. Frankly, the Apex have really kind of taken the crap cards, frankly. And yeah, I mean, like again, that last one I think is kind of weird. And I think this one's kind of weird too, because again, these the next one down, guys coming off losses. Jake Matthews, the Celtic kid. I mean, this guy, you want to talk about UFC veteran. 15 wins, 8 losses in UFC. Currently coming off of a loss to Neil Magny. But good wins against Francisco Prado, Phil Rao, Chidi Njikwani. Listen to some of his other losses: Michael Morales, Sean Brady. He loses to good guys. Meanwhile, Harris, fairly new in the UFC, 4-3, so he's been pretty up and down on a two-fight losing streak against Santiago Ponzibio and Chaos Williams and Shavkat Rakhmonov as his other loss. So hey, he's losing the names and he's beating the other guys. I think this is going to be a test for Mozambique Carlston Harris. Jake Matthews is kind of playing the role of the gatekeeper in this fight, but Jake Matthews is not someone to count out. I think he is a tough, experienced fighter at this point. He can definitely get you in submission. He has 9 wins by it. He can knock you out. He has 5 wins by it. And he can beat you in decisions too. He has become a very well-rounded, tough out for most guys in the division. And it's not like, unless they're, top guys, he doesn't get rolled over too much these days. So Carlston Harris, I think, has his work cut out for him, but I think the main factor here is, actually, never mind. You think Jake Matthews is going to put it together and get the win here, or do you think Carlston Harris is going to get it done? What do you think? Carlston Harris, the older fighter at 38, Jake Matthews, 31.
Carlston Harris is definitely a crafty submission guy with heavy hands, but Matthews has superior cardio in wrestling. If Matthews can neutralize this, he can definitely dictate this fight and have top control, but I don't know. I have Jake Matthews by unanimous decision was my prediction, and I do know that for some reason, if you can hear me, Derek, it's freezing on your side completely for the past minute.
Yep,
so I've
my
been
internet
talking.
just kicked and came back in. I don't know what you last heard. Basically, I was saying Jake Matthews, Carlston Harris. Do you think Jake Matthews, the younger fighter, can put it together even though he's playing the gatekeeper role here?
Well, Jake Matthews definitely has the superior cardio and wrestling experience in this. If Matthews can neutralize Harris's early power and secure top control on the mat, he will easily dictate the pace of this fight, and that'll be his way to victory. I bet you didn't hear me again, but I did answer it again.
No, I heard you. I'm here.
I don't know if I want to answer it a third time, but it seems like you might be frozen.
I can hear you. I'm good. I can hear you. It's not frozen right now on my end.
I'm not sure exactly what is happening, but if this is it of the podcast, thank you for tuning into the pod. We definitely got through 5 of the fights. Yeah, this is definitely technical difficulties. It will because I do see that it is recording on both sides, so it will load up correctly. But peace, everyone.
I was able to hear you fine after I cut out, but thank you.